You don't get to hate the girl that got you here. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Esther. You don't get to hate the girl that got you here is a Substack article by Natosha. And what Natosha is reminding us beautifully through this reflective piece is that we have to honor and not abandon our past versions. Our past versions have and continue to contribute significantly to who we are and who we become. Like I've reflected on this a while. There's no final boss to growth. You'll never reach a point and say, I've grown enough and that's it. And Natosha in this beautiful piece is just reminding us to honor those past versions of us, to meet them with kindness, to meet them with compassion. She is, throughout the article, telling us those past versions of us, as much as we want to erase some of those moments, because truth is, sometimes we feel like that. I don't know if I'm the only one, but while washing dishes, most times it's when you get those, what are they called, reminders, and you're like, yeah, and what was that, you know? But Natosha is reminding us those past versions of us contribute significantly to we are. We're able to make certain choices. We're able to be vocal about certain things because of those experiences that we have had through the past versions of us. The past versions of us have made decisions rather with the knowledge they had at the time. They made decisions and they made choices. We might not be happy about them now, but those decisions have contributed significantly to who we are and who we continue to become. Now, in this piece, Natosha is reminding us that we do not have to distance ourselves from the girl we used to be in order to prove that we have grown. What we need to do is to honor those past versions of us, to reflect on the lessons they taught us, to reflect and realize that the choices they made was possible because of the knowledge they had at the time. And that now brings us to who we are and who we continue to be. What our past versions were doing is learning in real time. And that, in and of itself, can be very messy. Look at it from what it is that you're going through now. You'd think there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You'd think you're the only person who has gone through this, who will be going through this, and there's no way you'll see yourself out of this. But Natosha is reminding us, whatever it is you're going through now, the real-time learning you're doing now will contribute heavily to your future self. You look back 3-4 years, in the future and realize what I went through during that time has taught me this. And so we're able to have the language, the vocabulary, the blueprint, the know-how because of those past versions of us. And so we do not have to act as if they do not exist. We don't have to wish them away. We don't have to, erase them. We have to embrace them. We do not have to stay in the past. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to go back and stay there, but we want to go back and sit and realize, oh, this was the lesson that this version of myself was teaching me. This reminds me of the TikTok trend. A while back, I met my younger self for coffee. And what the creators of that trend did, we would see them go back and meet their 8-year-old self, their 10-year-old self. But this really, what they were doing is meeting those younger selves, those younger versions of themselves with grace and with compassion, realizing we had minimal tools, but we used them and they taught us A, B, C, D. The videos have, some of them you'll cry, some of them are like, oh my God. But you realize they probably chose that age because of how significantly they have had to reflect on it and realize my 12-year-old self, this is what we had and this is what we did with it. And we have to, and that's a step towards accepting the past versions of ourselves. That's a step to saying, I do not want to erase the past version of myself. I don't want to act as if she did not exist. I do not want to be disrespectful and wish my past self away or speak about her as if it is something to be ashamed of. I want to look back and reflect and reckon and realize those versions of me have contributed to and continue to contribute again to the person I am becoming, to who I want to become, to who I want to become and who I continue to become. Now, these are beautiful sentences from Natosha, and I'll read some of them because like I say, I love words, and I hope that they penetrate your soul as much as they penetrated mine. You could go read that article on Substack, by the way. She says, because it's easy to talk about boundaries when you've already learned them. It's easy to recognize red flags when you've already been burnt by them. It's easy to say, I would never accept that now, when you're no longer the version of you who didn't know she deserved better. She was learning in real time. And if we're being honest, learning in real time is messy. And yes, maybe you outgrew that, but that doesn't make her foolish. It makes her human. And I think a lot of us are walking around calling it growth when really we've just learned how to abandon old versions of ourselves more gracefully. Honor her, don't abandon her. It's all about growth. And when you talk about growth, we have to realize it's about expansion, not erasure. But all of that came from her, the past version of us, but all of that came from her, not in spite of her. Realizing we don't have to abandon past versions of ourselves to grow. We learn just how to hold them differently. She is still a part of you, just no longer in charge. Like I said, we can look back and not stay there. We have to look back and learn the lessons that were meant to be learned at that time, because every version of us, every version of yourself has and served a purpose and continues to serve a purpose even now. In 2, 3 years, you look back and you realize I was learning something during that time. Because it isn't, when it comes to growth, it isn't about erasure. It's about continuation. You are not her replacement. You are her continuation. Those past versions of us, when we embrace them, it's not about erasing them. It's not about replacing them. But it is about continuation. We continue to be because they were. We continue to become because they existed. Don't erase them. Don't talk to them in a tone of criticism, in a tone of rejection, in a tone of contempt. Because through this, we do not get to where we are by accident. The past versions of us deserve respect. They deserve to be honored. They deserve to be met with grace and with compassion. You can go watch the trends on TikTok. I met my younger self for coffee. And in conclusion, honor and love the past versions of you. You are because they were, and you continue to become because they were. Even today, this will in the future be a past version of you. And you want to meet her with grace, you want to meet her with respect, because she's doing what she's doing with what she has. You have the vocabulary to express certain things because she existed. You now have the confidence, you now have the know-how, you now have the guide, you now have the experience not to choose certain things, not to be in certain places, not to engage with certain people. But that has been made possible because of those past versions of us. And as I conclude, this reminds me of a Latin phrase, and it goes, Amor Fati. And Amor Fati is basically loving one's fate. It is a phrase that means embracing everything, the good, the bad, the painful, as necessary parts of your story. It's not just acceptance, It's choosing to love what shaped you. It's choosing your whole story, even when you think it was painful, even when you think it was embarrassing. It's not something to be ashamed of. Choosing and not hating your past selves. You do not get to hate the girl that got you here. I wish us all the best as we sit and reflect on the past versions of us and learn, or rather accept the lessons they were trying to teach us. And as we do that, I wish us all the best. And yes, Amor Fati to us as we embrace our stories. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye.